called Wilbert Ikilai. I work with the NEMA as Assistant Commissioner, Environment Education and Advocacy. All what NEMA does supports sustainability of environment, and when you support environment, indirectly you have supported agriculture sector as well. I want to give examples. We support the development of regulations, and I want to tell you that the National Environment Act Cap 181, which is like the reference for environment management in the country, the law that governs environment in Uganda, directly promotes sustainability in the agriculture sector. How? In the various ways. For example, it has a component that regulates chemicals, hazardous chemicals, and it ensures that before chemicals are imported into the country, they are checked to see whether they are not very, very harmful, or if they are harmful, how are they going to be managed. But also when they are brought into the country, the Act provides for the management of those chemicals. So chemicals, you'd be killing pollinators, you'd be affecting the land itself, you'd actually also be polluting the water. Now, by regulating hazardous chemicals in the country, we are promoting agriculture in one way or the other, because the chemicals that would be used to affect the land are regulated. Chemicals that would affect pollinators, chemicals that would affect other components of biodiversity that are relevant in the agriculture sector are regulated. That is just one. Two, when you look at what we do in terms of environmental and social impact assessment, it regulates, say for example, the establishment of projects that would affect the ecosystems. So you'll find the ACRs are directly regulating the way projects like industries are supposed to be established, where they're supposed to be established, how are they going to manage effluent discharge. This is one way through which NEMA is supporting the agriculture sector, because they would discharge it to the land, and as they would discharge it to the land, you'd find it would affect farming itself. So through ACRs, but also through audits, environmental audits, which are done like annually with the various projects, we are able to regulate activities of projects, activities of bigger, say, projects that will have an impact on the environment and obviously influencing the change in the agriculture sector. So that is the second one. Then the third one, when you look at our role in conservation of wetlands, NEMA regulates the use of wetlands, and through this act, wetlands are a preserve of the government, and if you go and destroy wetlands, the law will catch up with you. Now, wetlands play a great role in the agriculture sector. How? Wetlands influence precipitation, they influence the rainfall, and they also support they're like cushions through which water is supposed to be retained. And when we have water, then we are able to do production in agriculture. It can be done through many ways. It can be done through irrigation. It can be done through influencing rainfall. It can be done in a number of ways within the wetlands itself. So you can see conservation of wetland through efforts by NEMA, enforcement, ensuring that those who are in wetlands are removed. After engaging. If you refuse to leave the wetlands, we engage and ensure that you are not in the wetlands anymore. And it's happening, it has happened in Lubiki, it's happening in other parts of the country. Even as we speak now, it's happening somewhere. So that is another effort. But also the issues to do with the forestry conservation. Forests directly feed into agriculture in a number of ways. They also influence precipitation, they influence pollinators, and then there is a lot of biodiversity that is within natural forests, which is relevant to agriculture. So by NEMA's effort with other partners to conserve forests, we are directly promoting sustainability in agriculture. Look at, for example, now I want to delve on issues to do with the monitoring. NEMA is working with other partners to ensure that monitoring, to ensure environment and social safeguards are taken care of in the government projects and also in other activities that may deem to have negative effects to the environment. So we do monitoring of the environment activities to ensure that environment and social safeguards are taken care of, and in a way we promote sustainability in agriculture as well. Now, when you look at issues to do with the climate change mitigation, climate change adaptation. Climate change mitigation, adaptation are things that NEMA directly promotes. For example, recently NEMA wrote a letter, circulated a letter to all local governments in the country, but also to the different MPAs to ban open burning of waste. Now, open burning of waste is prohibited because it releases carbon emissions into the atmosphere, and these carbon emissions have the effect on ozone, but also they increase the level of warming. That has a long-term effect causing issues of climate change. Now, by doing that alone, creating awareness, passing information that regulates the behavior that will affect the air quality, that will affect how the atmosphere is, we are trying to ensure that environment is sustained and fits into the agriculture sector as well. I want to give you an example. There is what we call smog. Smog is a combination of the different air gases, and also combined with the different aspects of, say for example, the meeting of the different gases that give a chemical reaction, and it has the effect to the plants. Especially, they reduce the growth rate of plants. Now, when we work towards cleaner air, you will find now that even you are supporting plant growth, because smog has the effect on the faster growth of the plants. And by doing that, we're campaigning to improve air quality. We are campaigning against open burning. We are campaigning now to ensure that we move from these other sources of cooking which are not cleaner to cleaner sources of energy. Like we are now promoting issues to do with the solar, generally renewable energy and cleaner energy. And by doing that, we are feeding directly into supporting the agriculture sector, because if there was smog and you see plants are not growing well, then agriculture is affected as well. So the other one is, of course, we are now promoting issues to do with the irrigation. Working with MAIF, we are promoting issues to do with the irrigation. We are also talking about the green transport, where now we're talking about let's move away from let's try to ensure that we now bring in like the buses that are using other energy sources, not the fuel. And then also issues to do with the now group transportation, where we would promote, like at the cities, different cities, we will have buses instead of these too many taxis. Then tree planting has been an effort that we have promoted in this country, and tree planting fits into directly agriculture. And all other efforts in terms of policy and advocacy, we presented a paper banning single-use plastics. And this paper was presented last year during World Environment Commemoration to the chief guest. And there are all efforts to ensure that we work to amend the law, the act, to ensure that we ban single-use plastics in the country. NEMA works with other agencies to promote what we call sustainable agricultural practices. For example, when we were in Kigezi, we were working with the District Natural Resource Officers to support District Natural Resource Officers, land officers, forest officers, to ensure that farmers are supported to understand the practices, the best practices, especially when I want to give an example of Kigezi where we were. We are working towards supporting farmers to begin appreciating the best land management practices. Say, for example, on hilly areas, reducing cutting but planting trees. Also, like practices like mulching, promoting like mulching, promoting like use of terraces. So do the trenching to reduce the velocity of water. So those are some of the things we're promoting with the lead agencies there. And that is why we were engaging the local government to engage the farmers. There is where we can come directly through awareness campaigns. There is when we come through regional engagements. For example, we have supported about 5 different regional engagements of the communities that are in wetlands. And we try to help them begin appreciating, one, on the best use of wetlands, not affecting wetlands, but best use of wetlands. What can they do alternative? Like fish farming, like use of maybe the agreeable areas for, say for example, horticulture, something like that. So we were trying to show them the best practices, but also during the discussions on smart climate agriculture, we're trying to promote issues to do with the use of irrigation, water harvesting, and how best you can reuse water, recycling of the water, supporting the farmers now to begin adopting on practices that will help enhance, promote the land use, but also better land use, but also ensuring that there is sustainability. For example, avoid spraying using chemicals that affect pollinators. You see that? Those are some of the practices, but then try to mix up, get organic ways, organic like pesticides, making organic pesticides that do not affect pollinators. Those are all practices. We have engaged the local governments to engage the farmers to adopt such practices for sustainability and betterment of agriculture in the country. In terms of the future, NEMA has greatly progressed. First of all, in terms of the technical capacity, NEMA has built internal technical capacity because we have technical people who handle chemicals, we have technical people who manage water and wetlands, we have technical people who manage soil, we have technical people biodiversity, we have technical people. So in terms of technical capacity, we have built and we are now able to reach the bigger parts of this country with information related to all sustainability of environment, which includes agriculture. We have intensified our efforts in community awareness and campaigns that enhance environment management, promoting agriculture. We have teams that have we have enhanced our capacity in terms of enforcement, and as we speak now, enforcement is ongoing. Enforcement comes as a last resort, but engagement was already done. And when we come to enforce now, we are coming at the last resort, where you find that now maybe the people, communities that are still encroaching on wetlands are not getting out of the places. But also there is a future, because we are now pushing for the amendment of the law that will remove single-use plastics that are affecting the land. So there is a future of agriculture through the efforts of NEMA. And there are more other better laws that are being issues of air quality. We're already working on it with other partners, AirCo and other partners in the country. Issues to do with now regulating the way we are managing other aspects of the environment. Say, for example, waste. It is also being discussed, and the already efforts to do regular cleanups are ongoing. So there is a future for agriculture and environment in this country.